Live from Linguinis base of operations. Today we will be diving into discipline, my thoughts on learning discipline, my challenge for January and 2021 resolutions, and a quote about capes. So you're going to want to stay tuned for the dough. See you on the flip side.
You are now listening to Linguinis Dough.
Discipline is kind of a thing you have to learn. I kind of did my challenge for December of recording a voiceover daily. I just didn't really hit the daily part of it, which I was pretty bummed to realize that, but I decided I'd look at why it happened. And there's no obvious answer as to why. Our brains are complicated, and I'm not some crazy smart guy. So I don't know why technically, but I do know why, in my opinion. You get more motivation after doing something you were disciplined in completing, but that's not what you were running off of. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Okay, just cut that part out. Sometimes we have to deal with the discipline as others will be negatively affected. Like if you don't show up to work, that's bad discipline. That's going to make other people hurt in the end because they plan on you being there, they plan for your help, and now you're gone. So that's some of the discipline that you kind of just do absentmindedly because you just have to. You don't know why, you just do. And that's one that is very important, but that's the easy one to achieve. There's discipline that's like what your own hobbies are, and that's the hard discipline to do. That's the one you don't need to do, but you are very rewarded and you just get really happy when you actually stick through that discipline. But it's a lot harder to do. And if you can do it, that is great. If you can't, it's something you got to learn. And I feel like for me, that is something I really need to learn and practice because like I can't get it up to an alarm to just work on my hobbies. I just lay in bed until I eventually get to it because I do enjoy doing them. It's just I'm not disciplined to doing it. And I try making excuses like, yeah, I don't want this to become a chore. And well, yeah, that's fair to an extent. I just got to be careful I just have to be careful to make sure I'm not undisciplining myself, making myself unwilling to work. I'll be much more rewarded or much more happy if I end up actually working and disciplining through my hobbies and knowing that there's a time to take a break and there's a time to be disciplined. There's a time when I should find an excuse and there's a time when I shouldn't. Most of the time you shouldn't. And I should know when I need to stop working on this hobby and move on to a different hobby. And which is like stop motion to podcasting. I was kind of getting tired of stop motion and here I am podcasting now. And if I ever decide I'm done with podcasting, I should end it. I shouldn't just keep trying to grind it, but I should also be disciplined. I don't know if that made sense, but English. But yeah, when I am disciplined in these things, it does make me feel great and I want to do it more. And the problem is I just struggle doing it. And as a normal human being, I also enjoy my days off. So a lot of times I don't want to work on my hobbies just because it's like, oh, it's my day off. I would rather just relax. So keeping a reasonable amount of discipline, I think, is important and it's something I really want to work on. But it's a little bit tricky, but I think I'm getting there. I think for one thing, like on New Year's Eve, I'm going to try getting a time-lapse of the sunrise. Might try getting one on New Year's Day. Because I was just thinking, I was like, the hard part is I work, but if I could probably just set up a camera, have it ready to go where I just hit a button and then it'll start on the time-lapse. And then come back and bada bing, bada boom, a time-lapse. But we'll see. I know for sure I want to challenge myself for New Year's Eve, though. I feel like it's important to also mention, I already mentioned this earlier, but breaks, again, those are just important. You got to know when to take them. You're just going to become way less effective if you don't take breaks, and that's not being disciplined. If you're not disciplined enough to know when to take a break, you shouldn't be disciplined enough to keep working. But yeah, I am proud of some of the voice actor things I did end up getting done this month. It wasn't daily, but I got in a VR game. I got one role I don't even want. I regret that. I did audition for this like Christmas dub, but I don't think any other people are like trying out for it. It would have been kind of fun to do, but I don't think it's going to happen. So it's just really like, I'm just trying to learn discipline because I feel like sometimes I'm disciplined, sometimes I'm not. And it's really this unhealthy balance. And I feel like if I can just get it more consistent and just be ready, like be like, oh, my hobbies, I'm excited to work on those. And put this like spirit of I'm ready to work. But like, I don't know. Just something so it's not so much so that I'm just like, I don't feel like playing video games. I don't play doing this. Oh, I could work on my hobbies. I don't want to. I just kind of want to get to that stage where I can just go ahead and just get on my computer and just start working on it. Because I do enjoy it. It's just I suck at starting it. And I want to get more discipline because like if I do get the discipline I need, it usually leads to more motivation. Well, motivation doesn't lead to discipline. Obviously, you're more motivated when you're disciplined. And it's like this endless cycle, and I want to get back to that. I feel like I've been out of that for a while. Like when I used to do stop motions weekly, that was discipline. There were times I hated doing it. There were times I loved doing it. And I like got through over 300 subscribers from that discipline of weekly uploads. They weren't great uploads, no, but I kept discipline, and it's what I'm trying to learn how to get back into. Some people find discipline a lot easier than others, and I couldn't tell you why. It's just some people are born that way, but everyone has the ability for discipline, and I want to like, in the Lego Ninjago stuff, how it's like, oh, your true potential. Yeah, I'm ready to hit my true potential and just be disciplined on my stuff. I'm disciplined on like work and school. Well, kind of school. But on my own hobbies, I'm suck at it and I'm trying to learn it. So that is something I'm going to like try doing more. I think we're going to head to our next piece of dough, the quote.
Wow, that piece of dough was really interesting. Moving on, we're going to mix the dough with the quote.
This quote is in response to an Ask Reddit thread that says, "What weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could?" The response says, "Wearing cloaks, Lord of the Ring style," by user/Father Miyamoto. I didn't realize this was a stigma in our culture until I read this, and now I see it, and it is a huge problem. I mean, seriously, it should be perfectly acceptable to walk down New York City with a cape on and some medieval Lord of the Rings style clothes. I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, but you get the idea. Should be acceptable. I don't know why it isn't, but it should be. And as it is now, people get surprised if you decide to wear a suit just on a random day. They're like, wow, you're looking sharp today. And, I mean, yeah, I guess that could be true. But, I mean, was I not looking sharp the other day? I feel like you should be able to just wear suits random days and people just don't bat an eye. I mean, like, people be like, yeah, you look good or sharp, but, like, not like a surprised version of it. They might say, like, you look good, but in, like, a less surprised way. I think that would help society. Because I can't ever wear my suit without people being like, wow, you're looking sharp today. Like, it's like I'm doing something unique. Or they're like, are you going to a funeral? Not a funeral, but you going to a wedding today or something special? And I'm like, no, I'm just relaxing in a suit. So, in a sense, that's a problem with society. I don't think it's going to fix, and I don't care that much if it does or not. Would be nice, but I doubt it will. Also, medieval attire used to exist, so why does it matter if we have more variety? If people want to dress medieval-like, let them do it. Anywho, I got a cape to buy. On to the next segment.
Doe je aan de jidde. We're now moving on to our next piece of dough.
'21 is near. Not 2021, but 2021. Just kidding. Terrible dad jokes. All right. And we're just going to talk about my New Year's resolutions and what my challenge for January is. To start off, let's talk about my 2020 New Year's resolution. as I had some and I achieved most of them. So first off was to read the book and buy it, The Millionaire Next Door. The second one was to get a job. The third one was start working on Landini Linguini. And I completed 99% of these. That's not a scientific percent, but I would say sounds about right. Only thing I didn't succeed in those three was buying Millionaire Next Door. I read it. I just didn't buy it. I got it for free. So if we think theoretically, the book was about being financially smart pretty much. And it talked about a lot about being frugal. And by winning it in a giveaway and choosing that book, I was being frugal. So I think that's fair and makes up for it. Now let's talk about what my 2021 New Year's resolution will be. It's to start, I want to read The Greatest Salesman in the World. It's a book I got like right after reading The Millionaire Next Door, so I haven't started reading it, but I plan to. I want to spend less time on social media and focus more on hobbies. Just like I was saying, I want to be more disciplined, and social media is one of the main distractors of being disciplined. It has this feed that's like incredibly makes you want to keep looking. In the movie The Social Dilemma, there's this one guy, I think he was like an ex-Google worker or whatever, but he's like, social media is designed to be like a slot machine. And I hate that feeling. I hate that I just constantly go back to it, just like, what's new? And a nice break, I think, would be good for me. So I'm going to like try reducing my time on it. I'm still going to be on it because there's like a lot of people I talk to through it. I do like posting to it. There's just a few things I like about it. And especially like my work at work when I have breaks. I like it then. My next goal is a consistent upload schedule for Landini Linguini. I haven't fully articulated that yet, but I plan on figuring that out soon. And to graduate high school. That one will be probably the first one done. Well, maybe that one's just I'll be very proud for that one, This should be roughly easy to achieve. The two hard ones is going to be consistent upload schedule and less time on social media. The other two are going to be pretty easy. All right, let's talk about the challenge I'm doing for January. You know how I mentioned my goal was to spend less time on social media? To start that off, I'm going to go off social media in January. I know I've done a million social media detoxes before, but this one's different. I have Facebook now, so that's also another social media I will not be using. I will be able to use YouTube and the forum side of Reddit, but not like just browsing Reddit mindlessly. But if I'm looking for computer help or whatever, Reddit, I can use you, but not just to browse it. And then YouTube, I feel like YouTube, I don't watch that many videos on YouTube anymore, so I feel like it's fine. Yeah. And all a happy new year. I'll see you next year in 2021. Alright, if you have any ideas for our podcast, I'd love to hear them and we could probably talk about them. That'd be the piece of dough that we talk. I would love to have guests, so if you want to just chat with me while we do a quick podcast, I'm down. It makes the podcast a lot more interesting, so just let me know if you're in for it. If you're wondering what Linguinis dough, this is where we start with dough, which is a base ingredient, and we build from that. We can really be talking about anything. I do try to keep the dough baked at a consistent level of productivity, but it can be rolled around from time to time. And the voice actor in this video is user/Lendry from Reddit, spelled Lendry. Go check him out if you want a reliable voice actor. Songs are going to be Slug Love 87, Go On Going, Charanagoes, Digital Memories, Witness. All of these are from the YouTube library. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next piece of dough.